Hello, Facebook friends and activists for people in the planet. Jill Stein here, coming to you from Brooklyn. And I'm coming on now just to share the really alarming news that we just heard that I think you should know about, and I hope you will join me in taking action about. This is the ongoing attack which is proceeding against the Standing Rock Sioux, against the water supply for 14 million people, and against the human rights of the indigenous people, and against the climate that we all share and all depend on. The Dakota Access Pipeline has proceeded to continue their work, even working under police protection and behind barbed wire fences to keep the public away. They've proceeded with this work even in the middle of the night. They have now approached the Missouri River. They're within a quarter of a mile of actually going under the Missouri River and putting the water supply at risk, not only for the Standing Rock Sioux Nation, but for 14 million people and major agricultural supplies that are dependent on that water. That work is going forward against the courageous resistance of the Standing Rock Sioux and their supporters, who've attempted to reach the work site by crossing the river, and they've been met by police with rubber bullets and with pepper spray, and their human rights continue to be violated. There were reports that in the major arrest that took place just a couple days ago, they were basically treated like dogs, and this outrage against humanity and the planet is continuing. Meanwhile, the Obama administration has announced that they will basically watch this play out for several weeks. This is entirely unacceptable and unjust. The work of the Dakota Access Pipeline is not only violating traditional treaty lands and sacred burial sites. Of 1851, the recognized and authorized Treaty of Laramie, Fort Laramie, under which this land still basically is under the jurisdiction of the Standing Rock Sioux and the Sioux Nation. So this work is happening in violation of law, that is treaties, and it's also happening in violation of the recommendations of the United Nations Commission on the Rights of Indigenous People. Those rights include the right to informed consent to any major infrastructure work done on their land. So the Standing Rock Sioux were not informed. They do not consent vehemently. The permit should be withdrawn. This work should be stopped. President Obama, at the very least, should go there and witness this destruction that is taking place on his watch with his permission. We think this is absolutely unacceptable. We support the hundreds of protesters in Philadelphia who've met outside of the Army Corps of Engineers headquarters to demand that they revoke the permit. So I encourage you to get involved in this struggle. The struggle at Standing Rock is a microcosm of the struggle that we are all deeply dependent on. The struggle for our human rights, for our democracy, for our right to protest, and the struggle for our water and our climate. Please go to the sacredstonecamp.org. That's sacredstonecamp.org to find out how you can support this struggle. And that includes donating financial support, because there are legal defense resources that are required, and also material support, particularly going into the winter, in order to supply the encampment and ensure that it continues. And please join us in speaking out against Obama, against the companies, against the government leaders. Please join us in demanding that the other presidential candidates take a stand here. We know where Donald Trump stands. He's deeply invested in this pipeline, and his advisors are closely connected to the pipeline network. Where's Hillary Clinton on this? She needs to take a stand on behalf of the climate that she supposedly has concern and regard for, and on behalf of the indigenous people that she supposedly has concern and regard for. There's no more devastating an attack on the rights of indigenous people and on our climate than what is taking place right now at Standing Rock. So it's important we all stand together with them. And I encourage you, again, to go to sacredstonecamp.org and throw whatever you can into the hat here to help support this resistance movement. And if you can, please go there and support this resistance, or support it locally in your community. Thank you so very much for being the engine of the transformation that we urgently need right now to create a world and an America that works for all of us. Thank you so much. Take care.